Meet Brianna Pippens with Banana Peppers Art.
My name is Brianna Pippens, and I am the owner and creator of Banana Peppers Art. I am a visual artist, and I offer visual art services, graphic design, and I also do my kind of in-house operations with creating art prints, original paintings, and then I also offer things like journals and coloring books. So I try and create different products and things that all stem from art that I make. I started Banana Peppers Art in 2016. I'm a sole proprietorship, so it's just me. And I operate and continue to do this as kind of my side hustle or my passion project outside of my 9 to 5. But I love to create art, and I try and do everything under that Banana Peppers Art umbrella, whether that is working with different organizations to provide visual art support, but I also like to sing and dance. So I also provide that kind of performance art thing as well underneath Banana Peppers Art. And yeah, that's my business.
That is awesome. I am Angela Thompson with ArKAngel Enterprises, LLC. And I think in the introduction that Miss Bree gave, she truly did not tap into the wonder that makes up Miss Bree. And so we're going to talk about that because I am super proud. I feel like she's my daughter from another. I love her entire family. Her mom and I are good friends, and we know each other. We've been talking about this all week through the world of dance. She used to dance with my daughter. You met my daughter, at least one of them already on here, and that was Kayla Thompson. And so they danced together, and we vacationed together. I remember going to Florida. And, you know, we just have had a good time. And I've watched Bree grow, and the humility that you have within you to be able to mask all of the wonders that you offer in terms of your talent is just phenomenal. It's wonderful to watch, and I am so incredibly proud of you. So let's get into it. Everything is in a name. You call your business Banana Peppers. How did you come up with the name Banana Peppers?
So it's actually funny. So my full name is Brianna Pippens. I was with my mom at some restaurant, and on the menu, I don't think she had her glasses on or something, but she saw Banana Peppers and she thought it said Brianna Pippens. I was like, no, that says Banana Peppers. But for some reason that like stuck out in my mind as like a cute nickname. And so that was like around the end of college, maybe a little bit after college. And I was like, I kind of like the nickname Banana Peppers. And like, I just kind of went.
Never knew that.
Yes.
Oh
and,
my
like,
goodness.
And I kind of now like correlate it with like banana peppers are spicy, like an acquired taste, but they're also unique and vibrant. So I think it also kind of works with the type of art that I like to create. So it's like a fun name. And sometimes I go back and forth whether or not I want to just go by Bree Pippens or BP art. But right now I'm still rocking with Banana Peppers Art. And I like that it is my initials because sometimes I will do just BP or B Peppers as a kind of a shortened name, just because like the Banana Peppers Art is kind of came from like a cute little idea, and like as I've grown older, I'm like it can still work for now.
I love that, and I did not know that. Oh my goodness, what a little fun fact.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about the art. We will also certainly tap into your other creative styles with singing and with dancing and all the other wonderful things you do. But I know you have a passion for art, and you're really good at everything that you do. So let's talk about your different art forms and your art style. That if you could just share that with us.
Sure. I guess more from the visual art side of things. I always love to illustrate and draw, and kind of growing up, like you mentioned, with dance, like movement and doing more things like on the train side and within like more structure. Art was kind of the opposite of that for me. It was just something I like to do in my free time. I always like to doodle. I loved cartoons, watching them and trying to replicate the art style that they were doing on the shows or in comic books. And then as I kind of grew older, I just like to create things, like anything with my hands. So like I want to put together this fan art. So I used to do a lot of fan art of like celebrities or like my favorite artists. So when I was in college, when we would have like concerts, the artists would come, like J. Cole came, and I was like, I want to draw something because J. Cole's coming. And I would do that and then try and be able to share it with him or his team. And like kind of, that's how I kind of had an entryway in the business side of art. But I started out just mostly just doodling, drawing on pencil and paper. And then I wanted to experiment more with painting, and like everything I've done on the visual art side is kind of self-taught. I did take a class in college that was just simply called creative expression. And I really liked that was kind of like an umbrella because we did a lot of different things like collages, and like I've just kind of taken all of that with me up to the next point and to the next level with the other visual art that I create. And my style, I think my style is still kind of growing and changing. So like the work that's behind me is kind of my more current art style. I do a lot of digital work, but like I said before, I like to do painting. I like to experiment with all different mediums. What I'm doing now, I feel like is more in the vein of like minimalist but powerful, which is what I'm trying to work through, like expressing how I see faces or forms, not necessarily in a realistic way all the time, which I do like to try and do realism, but I'm more so like stylized things and things that I can kind of add my own interpretation to. So it's kind of like a mixture of a bunch of different things. And I just try and take that idea and put it into different forms, whether that's painting or drawing, and all of that kind of comes together under Banana Peppers.
I love that. You talked about the fan art. And as one fan in particular, I remember the forever First Lady, Michelle Obama. She came out with her book, Becoming. And then it settled on your heart to draw. This person that you drew was sitting on the bed and she was reading the book. And so you drew it, you shared it. And then who responded to your post?
So Michelle Obama posted the
Yes,
illustration. Yeah, and like things like that, I feel like when I talk to other people that are also interested in art, or like they'll ask me questions about like growth on social media and things like that, I'm mostly like to create and share things that are reflective of me and things that I feel like my friends or family and like other Black and brown girls might reflect and like see themselves in. So with that was literally like, I want to draw this because I plan to read this book and I want to create something around the release of it. And it's never really the intention like, oh, they might see this. And that was my thing also with social media, bringing you closer to the audience or the people that you admire. I'm always like, just share it. You never know who it might connect with, essentially.
Have you had experiences like that with any other folks that you've imitated life from?
Yes, I feel super blessed and like glad that these things have happened, and it's mostly been the fan art stuff. So I've created an illustration of Red Table Talk. So I had Willow, Jada, and Gammy, a picture I had drawn, and they also connected with that and shared it. I had done an illustration of the Hidden Figures movie poster, and Taraji P. Henson shared that. It was just different things that stand out to me that I'm like, oh, I think this is a nice image. I want to try and do my take on it, and I'll post it on social media. And that's kind of how a lot of different opportunities have just kind of come about. So I went to a book signing for the author and comedian Phoebe Robinson a few years back, and I decided to get in the meet and greet line after the book reading was over. And I met with her and I was telling her I was an artist, and she was super nice and offered me a job of working to do some graphic design work for her company, her literary brand that she was starting at the time, Tiny Reparations. So she had asked me to do her logo and just some other visual art to accompany this project that she was working on. And then as a part of that, going back to the Michelle Obama book release, Phoebe does like hostings, and she was invited to host one of the book stops for Michelle Obama's tour. And unbeknownst to me, Phoebe had asked just me to draw a photo of Phoebe and Michelle for her gig of hosting that she could have on the back of her note cards when she was asking the questions. So I did that and I was like, okay, cool. And then a few months go by, and in the mail I get a letter, and she had asked Michelle Obama to sign the picture I had done of them. And I was like, that's super thoughtful.
That is amazing. Oh my, I'm so proud of you. I am so proud of you. Your images really do tell stories, and that's kind of the heart and soul what you do. Each one brings out something else in someone. Your artwork is also seen throughout town, most recently on the metro station, right? Yes, and so let's talk a little bit about that and how it came to be.
Sure. It's actually the image behind me that's featured on 5 stops on the metro. There was a application for a cohort that's working with the metro in DC through this artist group. So I just decided to submit to it. That was back in December. I used to take the metro all the time, and I was like, that would be a really cool opportunity. So I got word back that I had gotten accepted into that. I was able to go see it in person and have my parents go see it, and it's special. I feel like you mentioned like telling a story. A lot of the stuff that I've been working on in this style are more so around connection and feeling connected to your surroundings and the people in your surroundings, and a lot more of what I want to do with like public art.
You also have images that have been displayed on LED boards. And so when we talk about the metro, just to be clear, we're talking about the Washington, D.C. So not just any old metro. We're talking about a major metropolitan metro system where lots of people go and come everywhere they need to get to work, play, et cetera, et cetera. So that is incredible by itself. But let's talk about when we look up, now your images are on LED boards. Let's talk about that and how it came to be.
Sure. So that one actually was in Baltimore. They have this LED Baltimore billboard. And again, another public art thing you can submit to as an artist, you know, in the local area. But the most current like public art thing in the similar vein is in Wheaton. So Wheaton, they recently opened a new office building for kind of the Wheaton County government. And myself and 4 other artists, we have our work in their window panes. The project is called Soulful Panes. And that one kind of ties into the LED billboard one because it's seeing your work at a large scale is very exciting. Until I saw it, I was like, oh, I want to do more of this. Be able to go there and like have my, again, friends and family go there and see the work. And that project is very much around Black women and creativity and again, community and connection, which I feel like all of the different things I try and work on and submit to are focused on.
I am super proud of you. And we could go on and on. And I'm going to go by one more example just to give everybody that's tuned in a sense of just how broad and how widespread your art is becoming and how many folks you've touched. And so I also know that we talked about the metropolitan area here in Washington, D.C. Let's talk about how it was also displayed in New York.
So during 2020, during pretty much through COVID and a lot of the social unrest with George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, I was creating a lot of digital work around them and justice, this idea of justice. And I did these portraits of them, again, shared on social media. And the Public Theater in New York reached out and asked if they could display the work. And what I've learned, I think more on the business side of things now, is things happen very quickly. Like they see something, they like it, they're like, all right, how do we get that to work here? So far, I've done George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. And the next day they reached out and asked if I could do more of them. And they eventually displayed it in front of the Public Theater. I feel like being able to have opportunities like that where I'm creating work around things that I'm passionate about and I feel like are important, and being able to put it in a different space around a different group of people also is special, because I feel like during that time was a very dark time and a lot of social like unrest and things. So being able to use art as a way to communicate those feelings is super important to me as well. That was another experience that I really appreciated. And I was able to kind of create a relationship with the Public Theater, and they asked me to do another installation. And this was similar to like the LED thing, but they used to do projections on a building during the pandemic, and it was called Say Their Names. And they asked me to create a projection for that, along with other artists as well. The public work stuff has been very rewarding, and I think it's definitely special to me. Yeah.
You know, it's special to me too, because there are times now I hate to even turn on the news. And when I first caught a glimpse of what you were doing, especially around those dark times, it seemed to me that more things were happening one right after the other, and it was all coming together. It provided a calming effect for me. It allowed me to say that we're kind of in this together, and
Right.
there's ultimately going to be a day of reckoning. But right now we're kind of in the storm. We're going through the uncharted territory, and you're as well done as your imagery was, it also told the story that this is just part of our journey, right? This is where we're going, and we will get through it. And it's an ongoing process, but that is what your art does. Your art brings to bear reality, and your art brings to bear an emotion that is soothing, comforting, and kind of connects us all. And so kudos to you for that. And I will also share that part of the work that we do here with ArKAngel, we have a component called the Triple Threat Academy. And with the Triple Threat Academy, we try to bring to bear the arts to what used to be just the youth. We're expanding that to adult learners, but to the youth. And Bree, you came in and gifted your talent not once, twice, but many times to our young people through art projects and different things like that. And what they got out of that was nothing short of amazing. You taught them the basics of just what art form is and how to, just understand the craft. And in a very short time, they walked away with art pieces, they walked away with song, it's you. It is all you, and you're the total package. And I am so incredibly proud of you in terms of what you do and everything. And I've also seen you on stage, poet one place, you on the other place, but he's reciting the poem, and then you're creating as he's going along. And at the end of that short stint comes creativity, genius, and the work that you do. So is that where you are now?
That's funny you asked. So that came about through Capital Movement, and that's where I've been dancing since about 2016. And I grew up dancing, as you know, and like I just wanted to still have a dance outlet. So I love that. And they asked me to kind of incorporate other things that I do within their shows. I feel super blessed to be asked to do that. And again, like I feel like it's an opportunity to stretch and like expand. And that was the first time I had done anything like that while someone was actively reciting a poem and I was working. I've live painted at events before, but that's over like the span of the full event. So like it's a little bit longer. I would like to continue to do things like that call for like collaboration and like experimenting again. But I'm trying to be more open to the essence of art in general. And I think through opportunities with performance and incorporating other people and their talents and coming together, I'm excited to continue in that direction for sure.
That's awesome. What about curating specific pieces? So if someone had something in mind that they wanted you to draw, do you offer that as a service?
I do. So doing commissions is that whole process, someone asking me to draw something for them. That's again, going back to like the business side of things, kind of my entry point. People would ask me to draw a portrait of them and their spouse, or like a family, things like the picture of Phoebe and Michelle, like those type of things. I offer those services, exhibits and stuff like that. So I do take time to do commissions and requests for sure. I love to create and do commissions, especially when people ask for things that might go along with their small business, like creating logos. I like that for sure because I feel like being able to create from the start, like they have a brand idea and maybe I'm the first logo they get, but they always could take that design and make it better through as their business grows. But like being an entry point for small businesses and imagery for them is super fun as well. I still like to offer that kind of as a service of my business for sure.
That is great to know. That is really good to know because that is really what we do here at ArKAngels. It's a business to business point of entry, trying to make connections and network, trying to help us to grow together. And knowing that you do that for others is key because we have people at all stages and then they kind of branch off, those that have been in business for a while, to other parts of their business that they want to grow. And that too may need some type of logo or some type of image. So knowing that you do that is very, very helpful. How do you incorporate singing and dance into Brianna Peppers? Because you are an amazing singer and an amazing dancer, and I am just so super proud of you. But let's talk about how you incorporate that into Brianna Peppers.
So I grew up singing with choirs in the DMV area of Washington Performing Arts. Children of the Gospel is kind of where I started singing, and my dad sings in Men and Women of the Gospel still today and performing. So I got that kind of performance and singing and gospel music bug from him. So I create my own music. Again, since visual art has taken a lot more of my focus, I don't do as much music anymore. But when the opportunities come about, submit to sing at different things, or I'll go to like open mics. I was learning how to play guitar throughout the pandemic. I've been able to still sing and create music and write music. If I do have the opportunity where I can present myself, I'm a visual artist, I'm a dancer and a singer, like present all three as that business side of things. Because the vision, I think, ultimately, because I just like self-expression. So it comes in different forms. But if I'm able to at one point have the ability to have classes and have people come to an art space and like be able to tap into those different things, like with Triple Threat, showing the possibilities of art in like the different forms. So I think as a business, I want to present myself as doing these different things because I think they're just all an extension of wanting to express myself.
So proud of you. If folks wanted to get in touch with you, how do they do that?
Through my website and through my email that's on my website is probably the quickest way to get in touch with me. So my website is www.bananapeppersart.com. I'm at bpeppersart on Instagram. Even though I'm always like posting and sharing things on Instagram, the DM thing can be a little overwhelming sometimes because Instagram does all these things where it's like you have to accept a message from someone and it's a whole like thing. So I would say the best contact avenue is definitely through our website. And yeah, I have the contact page on there, and And that's kind of where people reach out if they have a commission request. Working with like brands and things like that also have come through Instagram, but also my website as well. So yeah, that's the best way to contact me.
Super proud of you. Everybody, I introduced to you my Bri, and so now I extend her to you as your Bri. Please reach out to her. She is amazing, absolutely amazing. Bri, thank you so much for doing this. You are incredible. You are a triple threat.
Thank you.
You're welcome.